Today we're going to be discussing how to evaluate and refine a solution for reducing the impacts of human activities on the environment and biodiversity. As we all know, human activities have had a significant impact on the environment, leading to climate change, loss of biodiversity, and other environmental problems. However, there are solutions that we can implement to reduce these impacts. Let's dive in. The first step in evaluating a solution is to consider its effectiveness. When we're evaluating a solution, we need to ask ourselves whether it's actually going to work. For example, if we're looking at a solution that involves reducing greenhouse gas emissions, we need to consider whether it will actually lead to a reduction in emissions. We can do this by looking at data and research that supports the effectiveness of the solution. The second step is to consider the feasibility of the solution. This involves looking at whether the solution is practical and achievable. For example, if a solution involves transitioning to renewable energy sources, we need to consider whether we have the technology and resources necessary to make that transition. We also need to consider any potential barriers to implementation and whether they can be overcome. The third step is to consider the cost-effectiveness of the solution. This involves looking at whether the solution is cost-effective in the long run. For example, if a solution involves investing in renewable energy sources, we need to consider whether the cost of investment will be offset by the long-term benefits of reduced emissions and a more sustainable energy system. Once we've evaluated a solution based on these criteria, we can refine it to make it even more effective, feasible, and cost-effective. For example, we can look at ways to reduce the costs of implementing the solution or ways to make it more feasible for different communities or regions. Overall, evaluating and refining solutions for reducing the impacts of human activities on the environment and biodiversity is a complex and ongoing process. However, by carefully considering the effectiveness, feasibility, and cost-effectiveness of solutions, we can work towards a more sustainable and equitable future for all.